Now at 6, Joplin hosts a Kansas City University white coat ceremony for the College of Osteopathic Medicine. Plus, some local pet owners attended a tie-dye bandana party at the Southeast Kansas Humane Society. And Create and Sip Studios held a rock painting and hydro dripping event for the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Police in Galena, Kansas arrested a man they say was cutting wire from telephones. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Amber Jenkins. It happened yesterday. Authorities say they received tips from residents and found the suspect vehicle near 21st and State Line Road. Then officers pulled the vehicle over. They found wire cutting tools inside, as well as drugs and drug paraphernalia. They also arrested the driver, 28-year-old Dakota Beck. He's being held on charges of theft from a utility company and criminal damage of property. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us with the first look at weather.
All right, thank you very much. It's been a beautiful day, a little bit on the hot side, but radar is all clear this evening, much like we are expecting this coming week. Temperatures are around 90 degrees right now, but they're going to be dropping down through the 80s, 70s, all the way down to around 68 degrees by tomorrow morning. And for your UV index tomorrow, it's going to be high, in fact, very high. 10 on the scale, which means about 15 to 20 minutes before you start burning. So make sure you have the hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, find some shade, and limit your time outdoors. And looking down the lane, it looks like we have just isolated storm chances in our forecast, and the summer heat is going to return with a vengeance, and then some scattered storms late next week with near normal temperatures. And of course, I'll have more details on all of that coming up in the forecast in just a little while.
Joplin's monthly tree limb drop-off program was open to residents today following last night's storm. The program is available for you to drop off your limbs and branches, but must be cut to a maximum of 4 feet bundles and no heavier than 50 pounds. The disposal is open every third Friday and Saturday and is free and available for Joplin residents at 1702 North Schaeffer-Decker Avenue. The National Weather Service confirmed a tornado hit Mansfield, Arkansas yesterday morning. The survey team rated the tornado an EF1. They said they are still assessing the damage yesterday afternoon. Brett Rains spoke to one of the families that was impacted.
You can see shingles from the shed inside my bed.
The EF1 tornado that hit Mansfield early Friday morning sent sheet metal and debris flying into Harley Green's bedroom.
My walls caved up in at 4 a.m. this morning when I was asleep. All this fell on top of me. Walls caved up in.
With damage and destruction all around him, Green says.
Yeah, very close call. I'm all right. I just don't know what's going to happen next. I don't really have tools for my business, don't have a place to go or anything.
I'm glad we got out when we did and realized and got out.
Sarah Crabtree was sleeping in the living room. Glass shards covered the couch where she was laying.
By the time I rolled over, that's when the glass started breaking and coming through. So I rolled over into a ball, so as much of it wouldn't hit me.
At first, she thought it was a bad dream, and when she opened her eyes,
I saw what my phone light could allow me to see, and it was that was missing, and that the window and everything was missing, and that there was some damage done in his room. We also had a 2x4 come through our ceiling. I lived in Oklahoma for 15 years. Never once was in a tornado, and I moved back here after not living here for 5 years, and in an F1 tornado, and it's kind of scary, definitely is.
the tornado toppled trees and downed power lines in nearby neighborhoods. A crane was called in to lift the tree off this house in Mansfield. Neighbors say the man who lives here was not injured. Sebastian County search and rescue teams went door to door assessing the damage and making sure everyone was okay. And for Sierra and Harley, fortunately, they're all right, but their home is destroyed.
This was our last place where we're going to move into, and then we lost everything.
The VA clinic in Joplin hosted a PAC outreach event to raise awareness for veterans to apply for benefits that have been created due to the act. The PAC Act creates benefits for veterans involved in the Vietnam, Gulf, and Afghanistan wars. Those who have been affected medically by toxic chemicals used in those wars can sign up and be applied to be screened.
It is so important. VA is working very hard to get the word out. These are benefits that veterans have earned and deserve. They have taken care of our country, and it's our turn to take care of them. We are doing outreach all over Northwest Arkansas and Missouri and Oklahoma to try to let veterans know, their families know, caregivers and survivors about the benefits that they have earned.
The deadline to apply to receive full benefits is August 9th. You can call your local VA clinic to receive more information. Kansas City University had its annual white coating ceremony today at the Joplin High Performing Arts Center. For students who will begin at KCU this year, this white coating ceremony is their first step to becoming a doctor. Students all across the world will be attending KCU, as well as students from right here from the 4 states.
Man, I mean, I have pictures. My parents have pictures from like Christmas as like an 8-year-old with me in like a little white coat and a stethoscope with a little heart on it. So like almost for as long as I can remember.
Brooklyn and her fellow students will graduate in 2027. Southeast Kansas Humane Society put on a fun day of tie-dye. Those who wished to participate donated $5 and then were provided with a bandana for the special dog in their life that they can then tie-dye. For those interested in more events going on at the Humane Society, be sure to follow them on Facebook and check out their website for more events. Creating Sips in Joplin put on an event for those in the area to express their creativity by painting rocks. John Coleman, the owner of Create and Sip, says this is a fun way for anyone to paint and create. After the rocks were done, patrons could either hold on to their creation or add it to the rock population of Joplin.
But you know, anything can be utilized as for making art. And I tell a lot of people too, with even using your paintbrush, the wrong end of the brush can still be used to make a mark. So if it can make a mark, and if you can make a mark on it, you can turn it into art.
You can follow Create and Sip on Facebook and look on their website for all of their upcoming events. Coming up, we'll hear from the man that called 911 following the Missouri plane crash near the Lake of the Ozarks. Plus, we'll take a look at how weather is impacting Missouri and Arkansas peach orchards. Authorities say 2 people are dead after a small plane crash in a wooded area near the Lake of the Ozarks. Now we're hearing from the man who called 911. Reporter Marina Silva has the latest.
Can't describe the feelings in later when I realized there were people in the airplane.
David Huff was going about his day in Osage Beach yesterday about noon.
Left McDonald's, got right by the airport, and I'm on a conference call in my car, and I'm watching an airplane take off, and I noticed it just didn't look right. It was very, very low because I see planes take off there all the time.
He kept watching.
And then all of a sudden it took a right-hand dive right into the trees. And it wasn't a turn, it stalled out and just went to the ground. And I screamed out, "Oh my God, it just crashed," and had to get off the call to call 911. And
he called 911, but didn't have an exact location.
They couldn't find it. They kept looking, and they kept asking me exactly where did you see it go down, and I explained to them again and I kept telling them, I apologize for all you guys being here if I didn't see what I saw.
He said he saw a plane that looked like it was going to crash and indicated that the plane was going toward Tantera or Margaritaville at the time. Several agencies come to the area and started searching for the plane and was unable to locate it for some time.
A park ranger found the wreckage.
I'm just hoping to goodness that I understand that maybe one person survived. I'm hoping they got there in time. Wish I could have had given them more information quicker so they could have found it quicker. Maybe that would have helped.
A little later, Missouri Southern is hosting a summer football camp. Brock Raw would have that and more in sports.
We also have a lot of hot weather headed our direction. I'll tell you how hot and what that means for the week when we come back. Well, we had a little bit of break yesterday with the showers and thunderstorms, but now the heat is starting to come back, and it's only going to get worse as we go through the week. Right now, let's take a look outside on the radar. It's all clear, but down in Seneca, Missouri, we have just a few clouds outside of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort there in the distance, but mostly fair skies and lots of sunshine, and of course that means lots of heat. This afternoon, we made it up to 91, starting out at 67, which is actually pretty close to the normals of 90 and 70. Rainfall yesterday about 1/3 of an inch with those thunderstorms, but we're still behind for the month as well as the year by about 10 inches. Temperatures right now across the area are very pleasant. In the upper 80s and lower 90s, 87 in Nevada, 88 in Stockton, 86 cooler degrees over in Monette as well as Cassville. A little bit warmer out to the west where it's 90 in Independence and 91 for our friends in Sedan. But when you factor in the dew point, it feels a little bit warmer out there, close to 100 out towards the west, 97 in Independence, 97 in Nowata, and that's the forecast for tomorrow. And as we go through Monday, it's only going to get worse with temperatures feeling like in the low 100s, mid 100s out towards the west. And then on Tuesday, it gets even more worse with temperatures approaching 110 as far as what it's going to feel like out there. So be prepared for that. Rain chances are going to remain low tonight and through most of tomorrow. Isolated thunderstorms are possible, but they're going to be very widely scattered. Unfortunately, rainfall is going to be scarce as the next few days into the week. Looking at the upper level flow, we're going to be in a northwest flow pattern, which is typically wet for us in the summer months, and we will see isolated storms coming down with this flow. But then as we go into Tuesday, the ridge of high pressure starts to build back in, and that continues into Wednesday, so the flow becomes more zonal, and as a result, we start to lose our rain chances. But then as we go into Thursday and Friday, it starts to retreat back towards the west, so the rain chances are going to start to increase again. But tomorrow we're going to have severe weather across northern Kansas and northwestern parts of Missouri, just outside of our area, mainly up towards the north, so we're not really concerned about severe weather. Thank goodness. Rainfall amounts are going to be on the light side. Heaviest rainfall, if it does occur, will be up towards the north with around maybe 6/10 in Nevada. Elsewhere, generally around 1/4 of an inch. And the European model is even drier with less amounts, especially out towards the west. So tonight we're going to see temperatures mostly fair and mild with lows in the 60s. And then as we head into tomorrow, we're going to see temperatures warming back up into the low 90s with the best chance of storms up towards the north. And then as we go into Monday morning, we might see a few showers out towards the west with lows in the 60s. And Monday afternoon, maybe some scattered thunderstorms across the area with lows in the 60s, and then in the afternoon, highs in the 90s. And then as we go into the extended forecast, we're going to be looking at showers and thunderstorms starting to decrease on Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the low 100s. And then Thursday, 96, and then 91 on Friday. So we get closer to normal as we head towards next weekend and hopefully stay that way. But then we are kind of in a summertime pattern.
Wow, the 3-digit temperatures return, I see.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, hey, it's better than the storms that we
right.
had last night. Thank you. Many look forward to peach season in Missouri and Arkansas. However, the weather has made the season a little rough for orchards in the area. Nick Kelly checked on the crops in Marionville.
Peach season is well underway here in the Ozarks. However, many orchards, like Murphy Orchard in Marionville, has a peach supply that's a little less homegrown and a little more pricey this season. A late freeze last spring and temperatures below zero before Christmas killed any peach crops that were blooming. Local orchards are having to bring them in from other states like South Carolina and Georgia, with bad weather impacting their supply as well. High demands for those crops are pushing prices higher this season, including an extra 20 cents a pound at Murphy Orchard. The orchard says the customer response has been understanding.
They understand the situation and how delicate peaches are to grow in Missouri, and so they understand that we have to bring them in every once in a while. But they always appreciate the peaches that they get, but they always talk about how good our peaches are when we have them. Despite all these issues caused by Mother Nature, peaches are still being brought into the Ozarks from all across the country. All you need to do is just call ahead to your favorite orchard, checking them online or on their social media page to make sure that they have a supply of peaches ready to go.
Still ahead, the Joplin Outlaws return home to Joe Becker Stadium after getting rained out Friday night. And the Missouri Southern football team is hosting their prospect camp. We'll break down all the details next in sports.
The Missouri Southern Lions football program was out on the field earlier this afternoon. The Lions are hosting their annual prospect camp, which gives a good opportunity for local high school football players who can get out on the field and showcase their skills in front of the coaches. It was a little warm out there today, but football players from all over the 4 states area got out on the field. Not only was this beneficial to the players, but also the coaches who are looking for some possible recruits as well. The players got warmed up and worked out in several different drills. prospect camps like these can be a huge stepping stone for the MSSU football program during the off-season.
You know, the biggest thing that we're looking for is how guys move, you know, athletic movement, how well they can bend, how well they can change direction, straight line running. And then who's going to compete? Who's going to come out here and compete in the drills and perform well that way? Most of these kids we've already evaluated, you know, off their film, and so now it's really kind of, you know, fine-tuning or evaluating the small details of some things, you know, verifying what we think we saw on film and kind of going from that angle of it.
Well, the Joplin Outlaws are back at it at home tonight after last night's game was rained out against Sedalia, but the game is rescheduled for a doubleheader on Wednesday. However, tonight's home game is pretty crucial for the Outlaws, who are hosting the Jefferson City Renegades. Both of these teams remain at the top of the Mink League South Division standings. Joplin still has 4 games remaining in the regular season with Jefferson City, so they'll have to dial in for the next couple of weeks. First pitch is scheduled at 7 p.m. We'll have highlights from that game right here tonight at 10. The Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals are both returning at home after the 4-day MLB All-Star break. Both teams had postponed their games on Friday. They'll have to make it up over the weekend. Royals versus Rays, doubleheader out Kauffman Stadium. Starting off in the bottom of the 5th, 2-0 Tampa. Bobby Witt Jr. goes to dead center. That ball's out of here, solo bomb. Royals down 2-1. Next batter, Salvador Perez. Back-to-back jacks. See you later, but hold your horses. Wait a minute. After a review here, looks like a fan reached over the wall and interfered with the play. Take a look again. She gets her glove in the way, so they'll take the home run off of the board. So we'll have to fast forward to the top of the 9th inning now. Hey Siri, how far did this ball go? Jose Siri puts a charge in this one, and this time no fans interfered with that. Solo home run for Siri and the Rays. Tampa goes on to beat the Royals in Game 1 of their doubleheader 6-1. Cardinals versus Nationals in St. Louis. We'll pick things up in the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-1 Washington. Brendan Donovan gives a good rip to right field to the seats, and you won't see it for long. 3-run jack ties the game up 4-4. Top of the 8th now, same score. Joey Meneses hits this ball off of the wall in the corner, stays in play. RBI double for the Nationals, and they go up 5-4. Bottom of the 8th now, same score. Wilson Contreras for the Redbirds takes this ball on a trip to Souvenir City. Solo home run. We're all tied up again, 5-5. We head to extra innings now. Top of the 10th, same score. Lane Thomas will drive in Alex Call going opposite field, and that'll do it. Cardinals fall to the Nationals in Game 1 of the doubleheaders, 7-5. Well, we're in the final days of the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas. Some of you may know that former Kansas Jayhawk Grady Dick and former K-State Wildcat Marquise Noel are both on the same team with the Toronto Raptors. The dynamic duo from the Sunflower State is starting to look pretty good together north of the border. Raptors versus Warriors. We start in the 3rd quarter. Marquise Noel to Grady Dick on the alley-oop slam. Raptors down 6. Later in the 3rd now, Warriors are up 9. Kendrick Davis gives it over to Lester Quiones, who gets a sidestep 3 there. Warriors go up to 12. 4th quarter now. Toronto really starting to cook it up now with Marquise Noel. The floater and the foul. It's good for the and 1. Next possession, Mr. New York City puts it in for the 3. And now look at this. Noel with the move. Fake pass around the back and dumps off to Joe Westcamp for the foul. Rock Chalk Emal. The Raptors defeat the Warriors 108-101 in Las Vegas. I know the NBA Summer League is pretty fun out there, especially when we have local guys from K-State and KU competing in that.
It's always awesome to see their skill grow, especially on the professional level.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll be right back. Well, what's going on with weather?
It's going to be hot. Of course, it's July with temperatures approaching 100 by Tuesday and Wednesday, and then maybe some storms later on in the week and cooler next weekend.
And what's going on in sports?
The Outlaws are hosting the Jefferson City Renegades tonight at 7 p.m. Pretty important game for the Outlaws.
All right, we'll see. Well, thank you for hanging out with us, and that's our time for now. Thank you for making us a part of your night.